Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I want to play with the Fairytale Romance collection by Bargain Bead Box. This is a monthly subscription, and if you'd like to subscribe, I'll send a link down below. And today we're working with greens and rose-colored beads and crystals and copper accents, which are going to be gorgeous. I think I'm going to start with this pendant because it's just a very beautiful rhodonite stone and brass marquise pendant. It is a copper plated brass, but really gorgeous. And today we're going to play with this pendant and see what we can make. We're going to start with the rhodonite pendant, which is gorgeous. And I'm adding a tubular bell with a little hook on it. I'm going to take this one off and I'll use it for later. Then I'm going to add some beads, and I'm also going to need a couple of jump rings for the clasp to attach the chain and to attach the bell. And I've got my chain here and a piece of copper wire. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this bell. Now, I will keep it in my stash for something else, but for this project, I have a certain look I'm going for, so that's what I'm going to use it for. Basically, I'm just going to attach the pendant to the bell with a jump ring. So let me get my pliers. Okay, I'm going to start by opening my jump ring side to side. Okay, I'm going to add it to the pendant, and I'm going to put my bell on it. Hold on tightly, and then I'm going to squeeze it shut, always side to side. Okay, and you want to make sure that it's closed here. So sometimes you may have to adjust it a little bit with your pliers just to be sure. But let me get my other pliers out. I know, just when you want it to go perfectly, it never does. So that's the bead life for you. So I'm just looking for my opening. Okay, so I'm going to grab this end with my pliers, this end with my other, and I'm just gonna go side to side and push them a little bit just to make sure that it's connecting in the center tightly, so there's no openings. And then I'm just going to use my pliers to make sure that everything is closed correctly. So side to side, hear that snap? That's just my jump ring going into the right place. Now it is raised a little bit here, so I just take my needle nose and just work it around until it's all even. Perfect. Okay, and that's where we start. Okay, and of course I forgot to add my bead caps in here, so I just grabbed 4 of them out so we can use them. Okay, and now I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to just kind of even it out with my fingers. Now I'm using 20 gauge copper wire. This is actually real copper, and I'm just doing that so, you know, it's going to tarnish over time, so it'll blend in perfectly with those. All right, so I'm just going to take my pliers and use the flat end here just to square off that edge. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to make a medium loop, so just kind of right in the middle I think will be good. And I'm just going to go around and make a loop and then bring it back out so it's even. You can flatten it with your needle nose or your flat nose pliers if you want to. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is start adding beads. So I'm going to add my spacer bead, one of the green and copper crystals. Isn't that pretty? I love that. Okay, now I'm going to add a bead cap, my rhodonite bead, another bead cap, and another crystal. Sometimes you just have to look for the holes. Then I'm going to add my pendant bell. I'm going to add a crystal, a bead cap, a rhodonite, a bead cap, my crystal bead, and the copper spacer bead. Okay, so I'm going to keep in mind that I want this part to go up and down just like this. And it doesn't matter where the loop bends or goes. You can do it this way if you want to and just bend it, but kind of naturally bends that way. So that's just what I'm going to concern with. Now I'm going to take my thumb, and I usually like to make my loops just right above my thumb to trim it. And when you trim it, always trim with the flat side down of your pliers just to make sure that, you know, so it doesn't have really rough edges on it. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to take this, go about to the center, and I'm going to start turning. Now, I'm going to keep turning and then take my thumb. Now, I do have a little bit extra, so I'm just going to take my wire cutters and trim that off. You have to do it carefully so you don't get the other side, but it's a good way to just kind of make sure that they're even. And then going to make sure that these are lined up and that you have a graceful little curve right here in the center. All right, so that's the start of our pendant right there. Gives a nice romantic look. All right, next we're going to add the chain. I cut my chain at 24 inches. So I like my pendant necklaces to be about the middle of my chest. And for me, 24 inches of chain is pretty good. So that usually goes to the right place. On each end, since this is a Figaro chain and, you know, it has small and large links to it. So I cut off the small links and I added a jump ring to each side of the link. Then I cut it in half and I took the small link out and I added a jump ring and a lobster claw clasp. That's from my stash. I think although the clasp for here is beautiful, the toggle clasp, it's just way too large for a chain. So added a lobster claw. Always make sure that it opens and closes, and I attached that to a large link with my jump ring, and then I added a jump ring on the other side. I had already previously done this, but messed up my video earlier, so I'm doing it over. Okay. So next, now that you've got everything together, all you got to do is open your jump ring, side to side, of course, and then add one link to the side, and then close it side to side with your pliers. And if you get a little click, that's good. That means that it's falling right into place. Okay, and then I'm going to open this jump ring side to side. I'm going to add it here, close it side to side, And make sure that everything is even and nicely closed here. So that looks pretty good to me. All right. And this is my first project with the Fairytale Romance collection. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments down below. May creativity be your guide.